Hey, welcome everyone to the Crook County Road Agency Board meeting. Today is Monday, June the 30th, 2025, and it's 2:00 p.m. Do we have any public comment?
Nothing yet. I'm just trying to understand what's going on with the system.
Organization? Okay, perfect. Buddy online? You wanna no public comment? We'll move on to consent agenda. Gentlemen, in front of you are the copy of the minutes and of the bylaws. The bylaws you're familiar with. Take a look at the minutes maybe, and we'll entertain a motion once you've.
You did, sir.
Look good to me.
I'll make a motion. We approve the minutes of the June 9th, 2025 meeting as presented.
Second.
Is that right, Brian, or is there a June 16th meeting?
No.
June 16 was the budget committee.
Okay, so not this. So we're okay. So I'll state that motion again. I make a motion to approve the minutes of the June 9th, 2025 meeting of the Crook County Road Agency.
Second.
Motion's been made and second to approve the 6/9 2025 Road Agency Board minutes. All in favor, say aye.
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 Barney, aye. I guess, was there any discussion before I said that? Any more discussion? Hearing no more discussion, pass unanimously. So when you need to approve the bylaws too, I thought, again,
You approved a draft form. I think they are on the consent agenda for the purpose of getting signatures on them, not to review and approve the bylaws again. They're just on the consent for signatures. So
So we need to do any motion to
I think
approve the consent agenda then?
yeah. But you've already approved half of it. Half of it was there.
Oh, half of it was in.
So you
Okay.
can either do just a motion to direct the chair and vice chair to sign the minutes or just approve the consent agenda.
You got that one, Jerry?
Yeah, I would make a motion to approve the consent agenda.
Do we need authorization for your signatures as you stated?
Yeah, no, I don't, it's on the consent.
Okay.
agenda.
And I'll second the motion.
motion's been made and seconded. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. You're looking at me.
Yeah. Are you ready to move on to discussion?
Yes, I'm ready to move on to do the discussion items.
All right. Good afternoon, Road Agency Board. We have two items on the agenda for discussion today. Before we get to the public hearing on the budget, I do have some testimony I need to read into the record regarding the notice issue that arose with the notice for the budget committee meeting that was scheduled for June 16th. So if you will bear with me, I'm just going to read this into the record. I'm happy to answer any questions afterwards if there are any. As the budget officer for the Crook County Road Agency, I'm providing this statement to comply with the requirements of ORS 294 2.451 and to formally explain a notice issue related to the June 16, 2025 Budget Committee meeting. On June 5th, 2025, Crook County staff, on behalf of the Crook County Road Agency, sought to publish notice of the Budget Committee meeting consistent with the requirements of Oregon local budget law. The intent was that the county would both post the notice on its website and submit it to the Central Oregonian for publication. The notice was published in the Central Oregonian on June 10th, 2025, satisfying the newspaper publication requirement. However, due to an administrative oversight, the online posting of the notice did not occur until June 12th, 2025, 4 days prior to the meeting. For ORS 294.426, it is required that the notice be published on the internet at least 10 days before the Budget Committee meeting, so the timing of the web posting did not meet that statutory requirement. This delay in online publication was not within the road agency's control. The road agency timely scheduled the Budget Committee meeting, and the county, a separate legal entity, was responsible for ensuring timely notice. The road agency acted in good faith and with the expectation that the required postings would be completed in accordance with the law. Following consultation with the Oregon Department of Revenue, we were advised that because the road agency made a good faith effort to comply with the public notice requirements, and because the failure to timely post online was attributable to another entity's administrative error, the Budget Committee meeting held on June 16th could proceed and its actions remain valid. The statement will be included in the official record and is being presented here today. So again, I'm happy to answer any questions that the road agency board may have. As noted, the Budget Committee meeting was noticed in the newspaper in a timely manner, and we did get it posted on the website, but we were not timely in getting it posted to the website. And by we, I mean the county. So again, it was not the road agency's error. As you're aware, county staff pursuant to the IGA is primarily responsible for ushering the budget process through and undertaking these tasks. And there was an error on our part in not getting that posted on the website. So it's not the road agency's fault. And for that reason, we feel like the Budget Committee meeting was held properly.
Okay.
There you go. Thank you.
All right, moving on to item number 2 under discussion. This is the adoption of the fiscal year 2026 budget. The purpose of our meeting here today is to present the approved road agency fiscal year 2026 budget and request that the board adopt order 2025-02, which adopts the budget and makes appropriations. Just for a little context, as you are all aware, I believe, the budget must be adopted by June 30th to maintain legal spending authority for the new fiscal year starting tomorrow. As we reviewed with the Budget Committee a couple weeks ago, the total proposed budget for fiscal year 26 for the road agency is $7,000 with $7,000 in appropriations. These are for materials and services to cover limited administrative costs, including auditor expenses. This reduction in budget, as we also discussed a couple weeks ago, is in response to the uncertainty surrounding the Secure Rural Schools funding at the federal level. And accordingly, no new projects are budgeted at this time. We will continue to track how that how the SRS funds are handled at the federal level. And if we have the opportunity to reconvene and amend the budget, we will. There's no property tax levy, no revenue from debt grants or fees projected in this budget.
Copy of that.
There's no, the road agency has no FTE, so there's no personnel costs. The adoption of this budget just ensures compliance with Oregon local budget law and meets our obligations such as audit costs for fiscal year 25, which must be paid in fiscal year 26. And again, this budget reflects the uncertainties surrounding SRS funding. And with all of that, staff recommends adoption of order 2025-02 as presented. And again, staff is happy to answer any questions the board may have.
Have you found out any more on the SRS funds, if they're going to be reappropriated or?
You know, I know there's been a lot of action in the Senate yesterday and today. I haven't heard anything specific regarding SRS funds. I believe there was a separate
502.
resolution passed by the Senate last
think
week
that's what this
specific
is.
to SRS funds that went back to the House. It sounded a little uncertain as to what the House was going to do with that. I think my gut
So
is that the best opportunity to secure SRS funding is through that reconciliation package, the big beautiful bill that the Senate has been debating, and sounds like it's going back to the House.
Mhm.
But I haven't seen the headlines
Kind of.
today, so I don't know.
Okay,
Well, Will, on the, we have the exhibit from the previous meeting on the 2025-01
Mhm.
that outlines the road agency fund and the proposed appropriation total. Is there any, you're now referencing 2025-02?
Yeah, so there should be order number 2025-02.
we don't have that.
What was,
Did you send it to us? No, I didn't.
no, I don't know that it got sent out, but it was on the website.
Yeah, okay. And again, we set this up to where if those appropriations come in or get changed, we're ready to go. Correct?
Yeah, we'll most likely reconvene the full budget
Right.
committee and have that conversation with
So we just have these funds in there right now that, for the administrative side of that process.
just ensures compliance with Oregon local budget law.
Gotcha.
We'll be ready to move.
Sorry, I'm
No,
retreading old ground.
No, and I realized we
Yeah.
didn't get some of this information pushed out to you.
Because
and this is what we talked about.
this is what we
Yeah,
talked about.
yeah.
This is what basically we approved.
Yeah, there should be no changes. It was approved by the budget committee.
Right.
The budget committee approved.
Do we need a motion on this now, or is
I
it
do.
before the public hearing? Okay. Order number, I make a motion to approve order number 2025-2 for the Crook County Road Agency in the state of Oregon.
I'll second the motion. Did you want to read any more, Jerry?
Yeah, adopting the Crook County Road Agency fiscal year 2025-2026 budget beginning July 1st, 2025, and making appropriations.
I'll second that motion.
Do we have to open it up for a public hearing
Oh, yes.
prior to this?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah, good catch, yes.
so we'll hold that for just a moment, gentlemen. and
Okay.
We'll open up a public hearing.
You want me to give you one of these?
No, I've never used that.
Oh, okay.
That's the first thing that got thrown in my face.
I am not prepared to make a statement on the budget. I'd like to know the correct way to get the information on the only thing I read is the Central Oregon. How to get the information about how and why this was adopted with multi-agency, city, county, public person, plus a 3-member, the other.
Budget committee.
Mhm.
Supposedly works with is it just the road department, or do you have that with them?
No, I'm just gonna, Jim, I'm gonna jump in here real fast. I think if I could make a suggestion, there's a couple ways I think that we could help you understand, and this is new to us as well. So I think we could do it kind of one of two ways or both, in that I think our good friend, Mr. Van Vactor, our county manager, could give you a quick overview of why we're doing this and why it's what I would call setting the county up for the potential for significant funds to become available depending on how the federal government, what their budget turns out to be. and why we have to do that or why we're doing that. And I think the other thing you could do, and it might be helpful above and beyond that, including with that is, schedule a time for Will. Just come in, pop in, have a cup of coffee with Will and have him walk you through that. Uh, yeah, Dad, come. Yeah. Well, we're cost cutting everywhere we can. So, yeah. So,
And
That's it. I didn't know how.
yeah, no, I think it's great you're here, Jim. I know, you've got a vested interest in the roads in Crook County and been a big part of your life. So I think it's great you're here. But I think, Will, if you could kind of give him a 30,000-foot view and then, oh, okay. Yeah,
I just want to know how to attend.
sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you would have been here at the first meetings, we would have put you on the budget committee.
yeah, you could have got a link.
I know, but there's always, there's time.
And on the webpage too, I think there's some information. And the minutes were really good minutes and it kind of recounted things that had happened and the bylaws and things of why we that'll read that and that may give you a good idea and more questions to ask and any one of us would be happy to visit. Yeah.
Jim, if I can, just a short version of this. I worked on this when I was a commissioner. And the reason we're doing this, there's 9 counties in Eastern Oregon that when they get SRS funds, that amount's deducted from their PILT funds. And all the rest of them down the valley, they get both. They can use both of them. So whatever we got on the SRS funds, we took that much of a deduction on the PILT funds, which is a payment in lieu of taxes for the BLM and Forest Service ground. So they, Todd Nash and, the other guy from over, any farmer over, John, anyways, they took it up with the state and they created this ordinance that we could pass that you had to form that couldn't show that your check went to Crook County directly, but it had to go to a road department. And then as long as it didn't show that it went to Crook County directly, then the road department through this can get their SRS funds and the county can get the full PILT funds. Those are non-discretionary funds. The SRS funds are discretionary. They have to be used on the roads. So that's my understanding. That's what it was set up for to begin with anyway.
I think the ultimate goal is just to make sure our communities receiving the full benefit of what other communities across the state are getting. And by creating this intergovernmental agency, we're hoping we receive the full amount and provide, those resources to the whole of the community, not just.
So is that why this?
Oh, no.
Is that why the city was involved with this? Rather than just the county, because.
Yeah, and that's why we had to have kind of a separation. Before it was just the county and it was the county commissioners that were on the board. That wasn't enough separation to meet the state and federal requirements. And so that's why it was spread out with the city and 3 different board members. We all do.
Hopefully we get some SRS funds and we've got more work to do.
Yeah.
Through the road agency right now. Teachers pretty concerned for the road.
In 30 years.
It's really a pretty simple piece. You're retired. Yeah. Yeah.
I didn't know you're,
Yeah.
yeah.
He's been retired.
Yes.
For years.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're gonna pay more.
You can't bribe people, counselor.
Since when? I don't have a card on.
You're a 549.
Thanks for being here. Why we wanted that article.
Sure, I agree.
Yeah.
Guess that's all you need me for then, because I don't want to.
No, you're not interrupting. You're welcome to sit
Oh,
there
yeah.
until the lights go out.
I'm glad you're here, Jim. Appreciate it.
Okay, so any other questions or comments? I'll close the public meeting. And entertain a motion and again,
Okay. I make a motion to approve order number 2025-02 Crook County Road Agency in the state of Oregon in the matter of adopting the Crook County Road Agency fiscal year 2025-2026 budget beginning July 1st, 2025, and making appropriations.
I'll second the motion.
motion's been made and seconded. Any further discussion? No discussion. All in favor, say aye.
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 Barney, aye. So moved.
Okay, before you guys move to adjourn, I was thinking about the bylaws just now, and I don't believe we have appointed a vice chair. I think the bylaws need to be signed by both the vice chair and the chair. I know, Brian, you were appointed chair at the first meeting, but I don't remember, so feel free to correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't believe the vice chair was appointed. So now, while we're all here, might be a good opportunity to do that.
Okay. So then nominations for a vice chair.
I nominate Jerry Brummer as the vice chair of the board of directors.
I'll second that. So a motion's been made and seconded to, we're gonna close the nominations. Motion's been made and seconded to, approve Jerry Brummer as the vice chair. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Unanimously so moved.
And Will, one other question, I think with our budget committee, we needed to decide today who had a 1-year term, who had a 2-year term, and who had a 3-year term.
We should do that.
We talked about it at
Yeah.
the last meeting.
Yeah, I don't know that there's a huge need for that. I would prefer maybe the opportunity to put that on an agenda and discuss it since it wasn't on the agenda today, but that is something we need to keep in mind. and Address probably before we reconvene the budget committee. Should we get any SRS?
We should be getting the SRS one, so we will be reconvening. Budget. That's a positive thing.
I like it.
Yep, hope you're right.
Okay, guess that's no other business. Make a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second,
Motion made, seconded, to adjourn. All in favor, say aye.
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 Move.
Thank you, board members. I
Thank you,
appreciate
guys.
you guys finding the time to do this all on short notice.
This must be the one we sign here.